What is up, my party people? Circuitron back again, and we are continuing our Stranger Things 5 reaction and mini review series. This time around with Stranger Things 5, Chapter 7, The Bridge. Again, we know how this goes by now. Let's jump into the episode. Wow. This is a way to start the episode and just get the emotions flowing right away. My family, again, and I were just crying and smiling and just had the ugliest cry faces, but we're also just so happy. Max is back. Max is back. It feels so good to know that she is back in the real world with Lucas. The emotion flooding through him. It's so good to have her back in the real world and have escaped that nightmare that she was in for basically 2 years. Also, the song that they picked during this, of course, the song's gotta be a gut punch too. It's the same song. When it's cold, I'd like to die. It's the one that plays when they get Will from the Upside Down in season 1, and when Eddie dies in season 4. So of course they have to use this song again just to add that just little bit more emotion in there. Oh, that's so freaking creepy. Oh. So, not a whole lot to say. I just find it really interesting that the thing that she comes out of, the hive or whatever, looks like a shriveled up spider body. Now, is that a reference to like a dead mind flayer? Is that like I don't know. I don't think the mind flayer is dead. I still think the mind flayer is controlling everything. But I just found it really interesting that the hive that she comes out of literally looks like a shriveled up spider. Oh. Oh no, it wasn't weird. That's such a sweet moment too. Dustin just embraces Nancy and gives her the biggest hug. That is such a sweet moment. That harkens all the way back to what was it, the end of season 2? Yeah, the end of season 2 when they're at the dance. They're at the snowball or whatever, and Dustin can't find anyone to dance with. No one wants to dance with him, and Nancy comes up and dances with him, and he has just the sweetest, happiest smile on his face. They care for each other. The entire group cares for each other, even then we don't see moments with all of them communicating and talking to each other all the time. This group loves each other, and that right there, that's such a sweet moment. No, gods. And falling. So, not a lot to say about that moment other than I'm glad that we finally figured out who it was that was falling. There was so much discourse, us, like, just everyone trying to figure out who it was. Turns out it was Holly all along. It's her falling from Dimension X, or the Abyss as it's now known, into the Upside Down, into the bridge. And it's a long way down. Chapter 7, The Bridge. We're almost there, guys. uh, so I just adore that Mr. Clark is a part of this. I love that they went to him in last episode for the telemetry tracker, and now they're doing this balloon experiment and all that. And Murray's code name for him, Snookums. Gosh dang it, Murray. God. But I'm very glad. After the absence of him in season 4, I am so glad to have Mr. Clark back. So again, we're going back to just the same thing I've said the past 2 episodes with this is everyone keeps blaming themselves. And it just has to be reinforced every time. None of what happened is your fault. This isn't your fault. I don't think that's going to be the only key to winning this, but I think a big key for all of this is just going to be the belief in themselves. Just like Holly at the end of last episode got out because she believed in herself and had that strength within her and believed she had that strength in her. That's how her portal opened up. It's going to take all of them leaning on each other, believing in each other, and getting rid of all of that doubt to finally end this. There has been so much doubt between relationships, between just personal issues with all of this. And I think they have to get rid of all of the doubt and lean on each other fully if they have any hope in ending this threat. They did that. This is a powerful moment between mother and son. Again, I am so happy that Karen finally knows the truth. It's a lot to process. I know she believes all of it because of the things she's seen, the Demogorgon that attacked, the Demodogs that she killed, but it's a lot to process. And I get that she wants to go out there and fight and just go after her daughter, but she does need to rest. She's still healing from just a brutal attack. But gosh, do I freaking love that she finally knows why the kids were acting so weird for all of these years. So I really love this moment. And I love how much of the Wheelers we have gotten this season. So happy that Mike and Nancy have had so many scenes together. Glad that Holly and Mike have actually interacted in a meaningful way. We have been getting so much from the Wheelers. And then there's Ted. I mean, he's Ted. Who knows if he's going to get out of his coma or whatever. It's Ted. We're going in there. Alright, so just like I said previously with Karen and how she's finally on board and knows things, God, I love that Mr. Clark is a part of this. I love that Mr. Clark is a part of this, and finally also understanding why the heck all these kids were acting so weird for so many years and coming to him with all of these crazy questions. However, I really hope that also doesn't mean anything bad, and I hope that he's not a goner because he's in the know now. I don't think it'll be that way, but I swear I didn't think that I was going to add this to my list. But if Mr. Clark, anything happens to Mr. Clark, Duffer Brothers, I'm watching you. Oh, God. That is a rough scene to watch. So, the first time, like, I didn't think they were going to go this far, but at the same time, I didn't know. At first, when she's walking up to Mike, and you just see the just dejected look on her face, I thought that Holly had either gone splat or had fallen into the exotic matter and like disintegrated or something like awful like that. Like I thought that she had literally seen Holly die in front of her. I'm glad that didn't happen, but this is not much better. She literally, her sister was right there, right there. They had her so close, and then she gets yeeted back up into the abyss. Like, that's a rough scene to watch. I feel so bad for Nancy. She has seen so much. She has been through so much. She thought she had her sister, and she was just snatched away from her like that in that moment. So, not a whole lot to say with this part. I just the phrasing that Vecna keeps using. It will all be over soon. It will all be over. I mean, he's been saying that since season 4. What is he referencing when he says it will all be over soon? Is he talking about their suffering, or is he talking about everything? Like it leads me almost to believe that he's talking about the time loop, about all these events happening over and over and over again, which is why he says it will all be over soon. I could be overthinking it, but that's the one thing we have not addressed yet is the closed timeline curve, the closed timeline loop that Mr. Clark wrote on the board. We've addressed the wormhole, we've addressed the bridge, and all of that, but the one thing we have not addressed yet is that closed timeline curve. So that remains to be seen what that means and just how closed of a curve it is. Are all of these events happening over and over again? Is it just the anniversary effect? I feel like we're going to find out next episode. So that right there, that moment there, that is the most revealing. That I think we finally got our answer to all of this. The military, Hawkins Lab, all of it. So I don't know if Hawkins Lab was funded by the military, if it was started by the military or what. But she just said it's all this girl's fault. If not for her, we would have those monsters in Moscow not killing Americans and killing the Soviets instead. So literally this entire thing, this project, the reason they're doing more of this research to make more numbers is because they want to harness the monsters and the hive mind in the Upside Down, and they want to use all of that as a weapon directly against their enemies. There's no, they don't think Elle is the one that's causing all of this. They know that she's the one that opened the portal, obviously, and the reason why this is here in Hawkins, but they want to use the power of the Abyss to destroy their enemies. Did the military truly start all of this? I guess we'll find out. So that scene, I like what I don't like. So I do like that it is explaining more of the lore, and it really, really firmly tells exactly what the Upside Down is, what the Abyss is, and kind of what Vecna's plan is. But we've kind of already grazed over this already. Previously, we kind of know what Vecna's plan is. We definitely already knew what the Upside Down was after the reveal last episode. And I just feel at this point, the part I don't like is it's just more exposition for exposition's sake. So that's a big, big issue. Last episode, a little bit, but this episode especially, there is so much exposition. I understand, kind of like we talked about a couple episodes ago in this reaction series, it is nice to have a little bit of exposition to explain some things. But I wish we had a lot less tell and more show. I wish it was not just always exposition. Here's what's going to happen. Okay, let's show this 2-minute segment of it happening. Oh, here's 10 more minutes of exposition. Okay, let's show a minute of it happening. There's just so much exposition at this point that I feel like we are wasting time and we're losing time that could be going to something else because we have to over-explain everything. Oh, what a creepy grin. So, again, that scene, not as bad as the previous one, but again, a lot of exposition. Telling the stuff the audience already knows, telling the stuff that we already know is going to happen, basically, and exactly how they're going to do this. Not as egregious because this part was pretty important. He was communicating with the kids exactly what's happening. And again, we have that reference to the black thing. So, is the Mind Flayer truly in control? Is Mr. What's It at this point? I'm convinced he's not a good guy at all. He's still Vecna. He's still, especially after that creepy smile, he's still pulling the strings and wants these things to happen. But I don't know. Is his aim? Does he truly think he's doing good? Does he intend to screw over the world, or does he think he's actually saving the world? We don't know. But just with the amount of exposition we're getting and stuff, I really hope things are wrapped up within the 2 hours of content we're going to get, because I still don't know how the heck we're going to wrap this up satisfyingly in 2 hours after just everything that has happened this season. Despite the exposition, we've still had a lot of stuff happen this season. Kaboom. Here we go. So I do like this scene and some of the explanations that we do get and some of the character moments, but at the risk of sounding like a broken record, the exposition again. We're getting so much tell. Like there has been at this point like maybe 6-ish minutes of exposition and just explaining the plan in this episode and explaining everything. And while I do understand that, there's a lot to be explained and there's just a lot of dense, crazy stuff going on right now. I know I'm not the only one with this sentiment. I've been seeing it everywhere. Like, why are you continuing to tell us everything instead of just showing us? I know it's one of those complaints that like we're happy to have the series and we're happy to have this last season, but what else could we have spent time on if we didn't have all these scenes that were over explaining everything? That being said, I do really love some of the character moments in this. When Robin say they talk about the helicopter rotors being too big and they won't fit, and then Robin saying, "Oh well, Steve hears that all the time, but he goes in anyways." Oh my god, just oh my god. And then Murray defending Hopper and like his entire plan and like calling the kids idiots basically. Like there's so many fun little character moments in this. So I guess we'll take some of the exposition, especially when we get these hilarious character moments, because some of that stuff is just golden. But we're running out of time, and things are about to hit the fan, so it'd be nice to not get as much exposition as we are getting and just go. Again, I understand. The group's here, they're explaining everything to each other, but a lot of exposition, guys. Oh, no. And there she goes. So, there, I don't know what exactly the symbolic nature of that scene is there, but first of all, that freaking brutal. Just kid fight, smacks her in the face with the boombox, and then all the other kids proceed to just freaking beat her down. But her losing the Holly the Heroic pendant, I don't know what that symbolizes entirely. I'm hoping it's where instead of needing the pendant, Holly is going to become Holly the Heroic in the next episode. But that just it had so much to do with opening the portal for her in the last episode that I'm hoping Holly can like find it within herself that she's Holly the Heroic and not needing the actual pendant. But it also makes me really, really scared that she doesn't have the pendant anymore. Is she not going to be able to connect to that anymore, or is she going to find it within her? That will remain to be seen, I guess, in the next episode. But I do feel like there is something very, very symbolic in that moment. One last crawl. Alright, so what's about to show up on the screen is something that maybe scares me a little bit. So right here. I really, really, really hope this is not symbolic of anything. So they were talking about how they need to destroy the exotic matter to close the bridge. Well, the circle that Dustin made about the exotic matter just so happens to be circling Will right here. So I don't know. There's been theories floating around where he is so interconnected with the hive mind that when they destroy Vecna, when they destroy all of this, they have to destroy every piece of the hive mind. Does that mean Will has to go too? I'm hoping that there's not. I'm not reading into this too much, or I hope I am reading into this too much, and that's not the case, but I just find it really concerning that this intentional shot has Will framed in the circle where the exotic matter is that they're supposed to destroy. Does that mean that Will is going to be the one that sacrifices himself to destroy it? Does that mean they have to destroy Will to destroy the Upside Down? Like, I'm very, very worried for the next episode. Very, very worried for the next episode. We'll see what happens when it gets here, but this shot right here has me a little concerned. Oh boy. All I can say is I hope neither of them are dying, but I don't know if there's going to be major stakes in this last battle or what, but I just feel like not everyone's going to be making it out. And maybe they are, and this isn't Game of Thrones at all, and everyone lives happily ever after. But I do feel like there's going to be a sacrifice, a death, someone getting stuck in the bridge when it blows up, something like that. I feel like it's not gonna end happy. Like, yes, it's gonna be bittersweet, and we're gonna get like a somewhat happy ending, but I don't think everyone's making it through this. I really, really don't. And maybe that's just me casting a sad pall over it, but no, it's just the way all of this is set up, and all of these characters saying it's my fault, like willing to sacrifice themselves time and time again. Someone has got to be kicking the bucket, and it's going to be rough when it happens. I don't like it. So, Kali does have a point, but on the other hand, also she doesn't. So the thing about all of this is if the lab, if the military wants to continue their experiments, they will find a way. Even without 8, even without L, even without Henry, I feel like there would still be a way. There's nothing to say that they still don't have some of Henry's blood hiding away, or like a blood bank from some of that blood left over. There's nothing saying that. I find Kali's choices of words very, very interesting. She says it's a cycle. Okay, well, that feeds directly into this whole closed timeline curve. Again, it's a cycle. It happens over and over. They'll find new kids, they'll find new ways to open gates. But then the other thing that she says, when she says, brother, kill our brother, why does she just continue referring to Henry as their brother? I get it, like, technically he is. He's like another one of the numbers that was stuck in the lab. But I just feel like Kali keeps saying brother too much. Like she has like a special bond with him. You would think that if you want nothing to do with him and that you want to end him, you wouldn't continue calling him brother. You would say Henry or Vecna or something like that. Like, yes, it's their brother, but I wouldn't want to own up to that being my brother if he's the bad guy that's doing all this. So again, that makes me think that either Kali is working with Henry, she sympathizes with the Mind Flayer or the Abyss or something like that. Like, there's just something I feel like she is hiding. And I guess we won't know for sure until the next episode, but this entire thing just has me on edge. It gives me the heebie jeebies. I don't like it, and I feel like something is being hidden. I feel like she has 100% got ulterior motives, and we will see for sure next episode exactly what that means. Oh, so that scene I love. I'm glad that he finally tells everyone the truth. I know that's gotta be really, really, really hard for him, but I think it's 100% crucial. It's that final piece that he's finally missing. Everyone knows who he is fully, and so there's nothing that Vecna can use against him. He can't use his insecurities. He can't use his traumas. Any of that. Like there's nothing that Vecna can use against him. I know there's a lot of discourse online. I understand where the discourse comes from, especially where this scene is placed with just everything that's going on. A lot of people feel like this was unnecessary and it slowed down the pacing, but I disagree wholeheartedly. This scene was absolutely needed because he needed to get the truth out there. That has been his greatest insecurity. That has been holding him back for seasons, since honestly since season 3, when Mike and him are in the garage and Mike is talking about, it's not my fault you don't like girls. That has been just an insecurity for him this entire time, and has been that thing that's been haunting him. And now Will finally has that off his chest and has let everybody know exactly who he is. And all of them love him for it. They're not going to leave him. They're not going to abandon him. And that shows him that everything Vecna is showing him is false. Like, yeah, it's his own personal insecurities and his own personal traumas, but now he knows, like, Vecna has nothing on him. Like, go ahead, show me these things. I know I'm backed up by all these people that love me, so come at me, Vecna. Yeah, this was not an unnecessary scene. This is something that going forward, when they finally go to strike the killing blow against Vecna, Will be able to be at full power. He's going to be able to tap into that hive mind, and Vecna is not going to be able to stand a chance. He's not going to be able to fight back against him, because what does he have on Will now? Like, yeah, he can use his past traumas maybe, but now Will can remember this moment and come back to how much he is loved by everybody and Vecna. So, no, I really, really love this scene. My family and I were definitely just tearing up and welling up last night, and I really, really, really love that they included this scene. Surprise! Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Just action. Just boom. We went from the last scene, it was a lot more somber character moment, to this. There's just all out war on the military. They're not messing around anymore. They're tired of being stopped in their tracks. They're making the rules now. They're like, okay, you guys want to mess around, you want to impede us, you want to be pains in our butt. Don't worry, we're geared up and we're ready to take you down. Like, I love this. I love what a freaking badass Nancy is. She takes after her mom like so much, and I just thought that was such a great moment for her where she pops up and she just starts shooting at all of them. I love that moment for Nancy. Oh, and see, that's just a little small moment. I don't have that much to say on this, but I love that too. Just the acknowledgement from Hopper to Nancy. He's like, "Hey, nice shooting." Like, it's awesome to see Nancy get some recognition. It's awesome to see everyone together for this final push. And again, Nancy is just a badass, like her mom. And this entire segment, it has me so excited for what comes next, because literally everyone is together, even if not physically. And Max is back in the real world, waiting to be there for them to go into her mind to see the layout. Like, this is, we're gearing up for some crazy, crazy stuff, guys. Oh boy. Oh boy. So poor Holly, just battered and bruised. The truck driving off into the fog set. Like, oh my god, the setup that we have for this final episode. I'm so excited. I am so excited. Shit is gonna hit the fan. It is gonna be just an insane 2 hours. I feel like all of the setup, all of the exposition, everything is gonna lead it just into this just insane 2 hours. I'm sure we'll get our nice like 20 minute 25-minute like epilogue that's a little slower after everything hits the fan, kind of like episode or season 4, the final episode of that. But I think we're in for a massive, massive treat when the next episode premieres, when the next episode drops. It's gonna be crazy. But yeah, that ending, pretty freaking crazy. All the kids' heads just going back, looking up. They're all fully in. He's using all of their power, and it's a go. Whew. All right, so Stranger Things 5, Chapter 7, The Bridge. That brings that to a close. I don't have as many thoughts about this one as I do the other two episodes. First off, I still did really, really like this episode. I thought it was awesome, and I think it's a great precursor to what we're about to have. Like, holy crap. A few standout moments for me in this episode were just that beautiful talk that Steve and Dustin have about missing their best friend, and if you die, I die. I'm so glad they're back on the same page and they're friends again. It's never that they weren't friends, but they were going through their tough time. They were going through their test in their relationship. Other notable moments. God, I love that Mr. Clark is involved. I just love that he was finally let in on the secret about exactly what's going on and why. I absolutely love that Nancy's mom is fully Karen. I don't know why I called her Nancy's mom. I love that Karen is fully let in on the secret. I love that Vicky is. So there's a lot of stuff that isn't hidden from their loved ones anymore. That's also kind of a theme about this entire second half. This volume 2 is honesty. Being honest with one another is another theme. Like the beautiful scene where Will comes out to everybody. It was rough for him, and I'm sure that was not an easy moment, but it was necessary for him to not be afraid in his own skin and not feel like he's being judged by people anymore, and to know that he is truly loved. He is going to 100% weaponize that now. Just like he said, I'm not afraid anymore, and I'm going to show Vecna I'm not afraid anymore. He wants to be there with them. Shit is going to go down. He is going to screw Vecna up. But I'm also really worried that Will is going to be there. I'm just like, oh no, what does that mean? Especially after the potential foreshadowing of his face being circled where the exotic matter was. Is that going to be like, they're destroying the exotic matter? Do they have to destroy Will? Like, I don't know. There's so many parallels between Harry Potter and this, Vecna and Harry, just in the cinematography, in kind of what's going on. Like, even though it's not his scar, Will's always touching the back of his neck every time the hive mind activates. So I'm just really hoping that doesn't mean that Will has to die in order for Vecna to die. That would suck. I don't want to have to lose Will. Other moments, the whole military reveal where we found out that they're wanting to weaponize the entire Upside Down, or at this point the Abyss, against their enemies. Of course, they want to use everything as a weapon. That's in every 80s movie, in anything with a big military presence where our heroes are against them. The military is always the bad guys that want to use all of the whatever they're fighting against their enemies and use it for their own personal gain. Also, Kali, I don't know what's going on there, but I don't trust her. I don't trust her one bit. If they go through with this plan where they disappear with the Upside Down, I don't think Kali has those intentions. I think she intends to stay in the Abyss and find a way to open it back up or something like that. I think she's working with Henry or something to that effect, because I don't trust her. But yeah, overall, I do really enjoy this episode. Oh, and the Holly. The moment with Holly where the kids basically like try to brainwash her back into working with Henry. She knows the truth. She's not having any of it, but that little fight between them is absolutely brutal. Like, holy crap, the kids just attacking each other and throwing Holly down the stairs where she loses her pendant and then passes out. She is battered and bruised at the end of that episode. All in all, really good episode. It is my least favorite out of the 3 that premiered in Volume 2. Not saying it's bad by any means. Like, not saying it's bad at all. I still really did enjoy this episode. I really loved that moment that Will got. That elevates it a little bit for me. But the mass amount of exposition we did get during this episode does lower it down a few pegs for me. So as of right now, if I were to have to rate this episode, it would probably basically tie with the first episode of this season. So I would give it probably a 7.5 out of 10. Again, not a bad episode by any means, but we got a lot of exposition, and I feel like the episode got bogged down in some of the over-explaining of things. Again, I get there's some really high concepts they have to explain with the whole wormhole and exotic matter and the plan to get from Hawkins through the Upside Down to the Abyss. But I just feel like there was too much explaining, and we lost some great moments in the episode because of the explaining. There were some funny jokes peppered in that I absolutely adored. I do love that even during the explaining, during the segment, we got some funny jokes, but I feel like some things were lost because of the exposition. So yeah, with this episode, I would definitely give it a 7.5 out of 10. With that being said, that ends our reaction and mini review videos for Volume 2 of Stranger Things 5. As of recording, it is the 27th, so we are only 5 days, or no, 4 days. Holy crap. Well, it's early morning, so it's like 4.5 days, but we're not far away from the finale at all. It will be here before we know it. And I feel like it's going to be a ride. It's absolutely going to be a ride. It has been confirmed to be 2 hours and 8 minutes, so it is going to be shorter than the Piggyback, the finale of season 4, but it's still the longest episode this season. So I feel like we're in for a treat. I feel like it's going to be an insane finale no matter what happens. We'll just see if they can manage to close this series off in a satisfying way. With that being said, guys, one more time, thank you so much for being here, chilling with me and watching Stranger Things 5 and watching my thoughts on Stranger Things 5. As usual, if this video was useful to you or if you found it interesting, please consider subscribing and liking the video, and please leave a comment down below. I would love to talk with you guys about Stranger Things 5, about your theories, what you liked, what you didn't like, anything like that. One more time, with that being said, guys, thank you so much for your support and for hanging out with me. I love you all, and until the finale, peace, guys.